Hello, my Astro family. This is Lada from astrolada.com with your monthly September 2019 horoscopes. And this month I have good news for you. All of us on certain different levels of our life are going to experience removal or release of some difficult situation, of some blockage, because Saturn is turning direct for all of us together with the South Node is conjunct for the last time. So some karmic unresolved situation from the past that has been bugging you, that has been delaying you, blocking you, that has been making you feel inadequate, not enough in some way, or that's been putting a lot of burden on you, will be completed. And as well, we have a lot of planets in Virgo for the most of the month. So this month, all of us on some level will become a little bit more perfect, a little bit more we'll improve that area, because Virgo is about improvement, perfection. And we'll do some very practical, we'll get done a lot of practical work, because that's again the energy of Virgo, to do something practical, to get things done, to not waste time, to organize, to systemize in some way. So a lot of good things in front of us, and this Virgo stellium will subdue a little bit the crazy Jupiter square Neptune, which is making us go away with the fairies and project unrealistic expectations. So I'll explain to you for each sign. But before I start, I want to tell you that we are doing a retreat, 2 retreats actually, in Bali in February. Me and Natalia, one retreat is just with her, the second one is with me and her, very intense. We have space only for 20 people for mine and her retreat, and we're going to work with astrology, psychology, occult methods. It's called Goddess Retreat. It's only for women, how to basically become the woman that makes you happy, to manifest easy. And we're going to work with your horoscope personally, with each person. What does in your horoscope show that your blockages are, how to remove them, remedies, and all of those things, what career should be for you, what partner for you. So come and join us. And also in September, we have a marathon for wishes, how to fulfill your wishes. It's 30-day programming of your mind, and specific tactics and exercises every 2-3 days, and homework, how to fulfill your wishes. And also we have a seminar, a webinar with Victor, one of our best astrologers, on career and money. It's going to be 7 hours, 6-7 hours webinar, plus he gives you 15 minutes reading on your career and money for everyone that attends. Cancer, this is such an interesting month for you, because the planet Saturn is turning direct in your 7th house, and it's been retrograde for the last 4 or 5 months, I think, something like that, in the house of relationships. And when Saturn is retrograde, it usually creates some more difficult experiences in relationships, some blockages, some delays, maybe some tests of your personal or business relationships, contracts, agreements of any sort. So if you've noticed that there are such delays, if you've noticed that there is it's harder than usual. For example, I spent the whole weekend with a very dear friend of mine who is Cancer, and she's been saying, oh my God, the last 2 years have been so hard in my relationship, because Saturn has been in the 7th house. And she said, especially the last 3-4 months, I don't know if we'll make it. And I told her, wait till September, Saturn is turning direct, and some of those problems and issues, because when a planet is retrograde, they internalize, they dig deeper, they dig deeper so you can work on them deeper. But they can make you feel disheartened at one moment, because you think it will never finish, And she's also has a business. 7th house is also business, and she's been saying, oh my God, it's been so hard with the clients, because 7th house is your clients. They've been so demanding. They've been much more, Saturn is like more critical. They've been more dissatisfied. They've been decreasing in number. They've been blockage there. So it's hit on both levels of the 6th house, the career, and basically the 7th house, the relationships, professional relationships, and clients, and personal relationships. And I told her, look, in September, Saturn is turning direct, and gradually it will still be in your 7th house, but you'll feel such a release, because things will start moving forward in that direction. You'll see the light at the end of the tunnel from towards the end of September. And there'll be a huge burden that gets released from that you kind of, a weight that you shed off. And also the South Node, there is the last time Saturn is joining the South Node, and this happens, it started from the beginning of this year, it happened, is the 3rd time it's happening, and then it's not going to happen in your 7th house till the end of your life. again, Cancer, that those two planets are together in conjunction. So the final karmic burden that you're carrying from relationships, because Ketu, the south node, shows karma from the past, things that your paradigm, your security paradigm from the past that worked for you in past lifetimes or early in this lifetime, but it's no longer there. It's like a shield, protective shield, that it's kind of just blocking you from experiencing the full gamut of life and joy. It's been useful for you in the past, but no longer. It's a blockage now. So this south node conjunct with Saturn, and Saturn is especially feelings of inadequacy, of problems, of pain, of suffering in matters of relationships, in matters of a companionship, in collaborations, and it's very funny how relationships with your partners also very strongly show relationships with clients and in business as well. But this is, astrology really shows it. But you'll notice that a lot of those burdens are starting to shed, that they're starting, those problems you're ready to leave them behind. There is a turnaround in the situation, whether it's an agreement, contract, personal relationship of any sort, or if your partner had some difficult things that they were resolving in their life, if your partner had some more time that they were feeling down, that they were feeling under pressure or depressed of some sort, you're going to start noticing that a bit of that pressure is lifting off their shoulders, and things are starting to move in a more positive direction for them, or they start move forward as well. They leave something behind. All right. So a break and slowly moving forward and be done with the past when it comes to painful relationships, or maybe you carried pain about a relationship from the past that you still haven't worked through, and it's been showing its head for the past months, and it's been, and like, why we broke up years ago, why is this so heavy on me, or why am I still regurgitating this pain? Well, you're gonna start seeing a release when Saturn starts moving direct in your 7th house, and it's the final conjunction with Ketu. This karma is released from the past. But we have also, look, you have, use Cancer, you look how many planets there is in your 3rd house. If this is Cancer, 1, 2, 3, your 3rd house is on fire till the middle of this month. You're gonna feel it from the end of August, the last 10 days of August, and the first 20 days of September, that things become very hectic and busy, because when so many planets trigger the 3rd house is to move. Flow of communication is increasing. You might start receiving more emails, people calling you. You might be feeling much more also interested in the mundane world around, because the 3rd house is the house of curiosity. And when it gets triggered for you, you become more curious. What is on the news? What is on Facebook? What is what's happening with my friend? Gossip. Oh, do you know what happened with this one? This one. In lower level consciousness, it can turn into a gossip fest, or it can just be like you receive so much information about things, and all the planets here are moving direct, so it's a lot of new pieces of information that are kind of making your head spin as well. But because it's in Virgo, usually all Cancers, if you're Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, Virgo is their 3rd house. So they usually accept new information in a very critical way, in a very selective and discerning way, because the energy of Virgo is like the small intestine. It rules the small intestine to break down the food and to absorb only the good nutrients, and to remove and discriminate the things that are poisonous and toxic, and sends them to the colon, to the large intestine. So you have to be the same way when receiving information as well this month. And generally, your Cancers, when you're receiving pieces of information, you'll notice that you're not like taking everything at face value, whatever they're telling you. You tend to break it down, to think about it, to say, is this true? Is this not true? That's why sometimes Cancers are more quiet to respond. You tell them something and they think on it. My husband is a Cancer, and it's kind of and Virgo is a sign that doubts, that wants to check its facts first, and Virgo is your 3rd house of thinking and communication. So it's great when you receive a lot of information now, to analyze it, to put it in, to systemize it somehow. And some of you might even feel that to approach it more critical, with a more critical thinking, and that's what you naturally do anyway. And to be selective towards what information you allow to take over your mind. And some of you might even feel, because the 3rd house is uh, your anything to do with your everyday environment. So you can decide to put order in your everyday environment, to organize your desk, to organize your work files. The third house is documents, papers, receipts, anything that is administrative with business. It might be the perfect month now to put order, to systemize. And I know that my husband is Cancer and he'll be doing all our business expenses and calculations. This is the third house, and all our documents and papers, he'll be filing them, systemizing them. So that's a perfect thing for them. But the increase of administrative work and tasks, if you're in any administrative positions, will increase. If you're in any career or positions that requires writing or speaking or writing reports or speaking or communicating using media, using your skills, the workload will increase, and the need to organize it, to put kind of to be more, to break it down as well. But you'll get a lot of things done. It's very, very productive energy, the energy in Virgo. It's a hard-working energy, and especially on the mental level, you might notice an increase of mental tasks. If you're in any career, even if you're not, that requires using of your skills, of your brain, using of something that you acquired as a skill. It's not natural talents and gifts. It's something that you have to think of, that you have to use your tool sets. You'll notice that there is a lot of increase of such activities. So, for example, if you're an artisan, you have to use your hands. You'll notice that's a very productive month. You can get a lot of things done. And you as artisans, that are using tools, hands, or anything, if you're any of those, you're very perfectionist, like Virgos, and you want to do the fine detail. I mean, all the Cancers that I know that have their own business, because third house rules business, whether it's party organizing, whether it's cleaning, whether it's, they'll always want to do it where they're required to use skill sets there. Whether it's graphic designers, they're always so perfectionist, because Virgo is the third house of skills and how you do something and the technique that you use. So this month you can perfect your technique. You can become a bit more anal. As Cancers, often people are like that if you're a Cancer, but in regards to the details, if you're having some commercial projects like a brand or marketing, advertising is also the third house. You're going to be again very meticulous about those things. You can perfect the imagery, the view of your website. Third house is also websites, internet, businesses of any sort. You might want to make your business look more, and also Virgo is to make small, to break down. So maybe it's a good thing to kind of separate certain, compartmentalize certain areas of your business, so you make it easy to work smart rather than hard, and to approach a more analytical and critical thinking towards anything to do with third house activities. So that would be if you do marketing campaigns, if you do advertising, if you're using any of your skills to get something done, if you're writing, speaking, you're gonna try and do it in a smart way, in a more systemized way, in a more organized way, rather than just some chaotic drudgery and working from morning till evening there and chaos. And you're gonna get a lot of things done. But your mind is on fire. One thing you might notice as Cancer is that you worry a bit more now, because the mind, the third house, your mind is over the this, what is this next? Third house, the house of planning in Virgo, organizing, systemizing. So you can feel a bit of more nervous energy this month. You can feel like sometimes you can't breathe because of all the tasks that you have to do, all the little things you have to prepare, to organize, to plan there. But very productive months for managers, for businesses, for planners, for organizers. Even if you're a housewife at home, you'll be just busy, next plan, what should they do, what should they make happen, This is my list of groceries, this is, the kids' school. And and you can also notice an increase of projects that are with small group environment, that you have to collaborate with associates, or maybe 2-3 people, because the third house rules small group environments where you can brainstorm, or where you can use your skills together in a combined, your skills and your gifts in a combined ways to achieve something, a goal of some sort. So yes, there can be increase of such activities. And the best thing as well is you can acquire new skills now. Do you want to learn to drive a car? Do you want to learn to use a software? Do you want to learn to do marketing? If you want to take some course, some seminar, whatever. Third house, you're on fire. Your brain is super go 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 go. It's your brain is very analytical. It absorbs quickly information because Virgo is rules the intestine. It absorbs, the intestines absorb, but it's in your third house of the brain. So now your brain will absorb, and you'll notice that if you start learning something new, some skill, some course, whatever, your brain will absorb just the most important, the most critical information, and will eliminate the things that are, waste somehow. Also, it's relative siblings, networks, kind of relatives, friends is the third house, siblings, neighbors. You might notice increased activities with such, so like more social dues, that you're more interactive with others, that you communicate more than other times. You can notice yourself being more critical. There is something in Virgo, because, sorry, for Cancers, that Virgo rules their third house of communication, that they can often sound more critical than other signs. You think, oh, Cancers are such sweethearts, they're so loving, caring. Yes, they are. They'll care the crap out of you. They'll be there for you when you need them. But they can come when they see something, when they want to express something, it can sound as if they're criticizing, because Virgo is their third house. So if you're a Cancer, be mindful of these tendencies that will increase this month, because you're perfectionist in that area. And also Cancers, you can notice that they're also biting their tongue more, because they always want, when they tell something, to express it in a perfect way. Virgo, they want to, when they say something, not to be laughed at or criticized, because they criticize themselves a lot about how they use language, how they express themselves, what they want to say. So they're more cautious. I've always noticed Cancers, how they're more quiet. There are always exceptions, of course. If you have here Jupiter, Mercury, it's not going to be the case. So use this month more discrimination and critical thinking about the words that you're using. What are you saying? Are you being too critical towards yourself with your words, or in your thinking as well, or towards others as well? And remember that the point of this game, of this Virgo energy concentrated here, is not to make you stress and worry more about every small detail and be more critical towards your self-expression and those of others, what they say, but it is to absorb what is necessary, to take the best nutrients, so to speak, of the mind, mental information, pieces of information, and to release the one that is not necessary. So be more discriminative with who you talk, what you tell them. There will be a lot of stimulation here to talk, to express, to communicate, how you communicate to clients, to anyone in your life, to friends, to relative, teammates, co-mates. Don't be too critical. But also, because Virgo is helpful, you might find yourself having a strong desire to help such people, neighbors, relatives, teammates, co-workers, to be very productive, to give them a helping hand. This is Virgo, and just try to get the best, to extract the best of them, and to also, because Virgo is discriminative, you might have to discriminate which people in your environment. Who in your environment might be neighbors, relatives, again, teammates, workmates, friends. Who of them are being toxic? And now use the power of Virgo to say, okay, I take the best that I receive from you. I'm not going to stress and criticize and worry about that, but I'm putting the rest is toxic. The rest of you, this behavior is toxic. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it. So you release it to to wherever they want to go. So you might notice that such people also irritating you more, but because you have to be more selective. And also, when it comes to using your skills and tool sets, you might become more selective, that you might remove some skills or tool sets from your box, or from your tool set box, or even some of you might feel like cleaning up their laptop. Third house is communication devices, and if it's like mine, you open the desktop and there's 105 things, you might want to systemize them, organize them. Perfect time for it, Cancer. And also, if you're using different tools for marketing, advertising, whatever, you might finally hone down and systemize and analyze which are the really good ones, So it's very good month if you want to analyze something about your business, the data, to analyze any data, business, how to make more sales or whatever, or why is your performance not working so why is your football skills or marketing skills or video skills, and why is your strategy, for example, not working. The Virgo energy gives you great ability to analyze that and see what's not working and fix it. Virgo is a fix it sign. Improve it, perfect it. So analyze such kind of things, because you can have great advance and very good results in regards to it, to change your strategy somehow, and to be, to do less, but with the things that really work. This is the secret of Virgo. Do less, but with very productive and result oriented methods, only with the few skills that give the best results. And this ability to think discriminatively now will really help you hone out some beliefs that are unrealistic, because it's opposing Neptune in the 9th house for you Cancers, to kind of chip away some unrealistic beliefs or expectations of the future, to analyze them better and to make them more, down to earth. Also, to see if there's some unrealistic plans in regards to higher education, to knowledge, to philosophy. Actually, it wants to bring you down, being less philosophical and more hands-on, the stellium in the 3rd house in Virgo, to try and test rather than think, I need all the information to philosophize, what is the final results, and it wants to pull that energy from there and to get active. And 3rd house is the house of courage. So this stellium in the 3rd house will give you more courage to act. That's why it's the house of business, because you need a lot of courage to start your own business, for example. It's self-starting business using your skills. So this is a good month if some of you want to start self-started business in your Cancer. Go for it with all those planets in the 3rd house, maybe after the new moon. It's also going to hone some unrealistic expectations and kind of help you notice if you have some unrealistic expectations in regards to your work, or if you've been too allowing, because Jupiter is another influence that, like Neptune, is very allowing, is very easygoing, and often Cancers, when it comes to their employees, if they have employees or those above them, because they have Sagittarius, they're very kind-hearted. They allow them, unless they have Saturn there in Sagittarius as Cancers, then it's not going to be the case. But currently they're having Jupiter transit in the 6th house, and maybe they've allowed some employees or some things in regards to their work. The 6th house is work, or some colleagues as well, is the house of colleagues, employees, work, to be to do, to how do I say, to overdo certain things. And now this critical ability to think of Virgo can make you notice how you're being too lax or too easygoing with either with employees or with workmates, or in regards to your working patterns and environment, so you don't go away with the fairies there and you don't miss details as well. Also, you're gonna need to use some discrimination and critical thinking in regards to your work, in regards to your health. If you've been over expanding yourself, maybe overeating with Jupiter in the 6th house, or being overly too relaxed with your health routines as well. This Virgo energy will help you you can feel tension, how you want to be easygoing here, but the Virgo energy is making you rethink, use critical thinking, and use some kind of selectiveness and discrimination and more, analytical powers to see what you are allowing too much in regards to your career, in regards to your work, in regards to your health habits, in regards to teammates, workmates, in regards to 6th house also is people that are toxic. So you're going to notice people that are toxic more, and that you've been allowing toxic people to take from your energy. Basically, 6th house rules anyone that is less, that needs us to survive on. So it's bacteria, viruses, it is people that are trying to live off us or trying to use us in some way. It's not like they're less than us, they just have less life force than us. So that's why they sometimes try to do it this way, like bacteria and viruses when we're weak. So you're gonna notice that you have an eye, and you notice more such behaviors in you that allow such others more toxic to, to you give them. It's like you give someone a finger and they take the hand, and you're gonna notice that, and you have a real opportunity to discriminate that and to, to say no, 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 you know. But also you have a beautiful combination: Jupiter in mutable sign this month and Mercury in mutable sign. And in ancient Gemini astrology, which is 5,000 years old, and it's about what specifically manifests on the material world as events, it said that when both Jupiter and Mercury are in the mutable signs, they manifest those signs in a positive way. So you're going to have positive manifestation in regards to third house matters, with neighbors, with siblings, with relatives. Something good will happen there. In regards to trips, you can travel somewhere, a lot more short trips back and forth, learn some new skills. All those third house business project of some sort, have courage to do something, express yourself, communicate, write some writing projects, some business projects, some speaking projects, some media marketing project can manifest really well. And so can the sixth house, work, health as well, but you have to make this discrimination first that we talked about. All right, so that's what we have for you, Cancer. Thank you so much. I hope you join me in Bali. I'm gonna look specifically at your chart, and teach you astrology there. And Natalia is gonna work with your big traumas to release them with special techniques and family constellations. Such powerful stuff. It took me 3 days for my eyes to subside from crying after that seminar I had with her. Or you can join us for our Wishes Marathon in September, how to make your wishes come true. It's a system that works. Or you can join us for the astrology webinar that Victor is doing, which includes also a small reading of 15 minutes on career and finances, but he teaches you how to find out your career in the horoscope, how to find out your finances, and what best to increase those two. So thank you so much, and I will see you next month.